Namaskaram. In last couple of days, we covered the victory march by the Pandava brothers, which was leading to the proposed Rajasooya. And they completed their victory marches successfully and brought a lot of wealth. It has two purposes. One is to establish the sovereignty over the entire region, and hence Yudhishthira would be eligible to be an emperor, a samrat. And the second was to, by way of tribute, to acquire enough wealth for the expensive Rajasooya ceremony. Most of the wealth will be given away as gifts to Brahmins and to others, mainly to Brahmins, and also to meet the huge expenses for food and accommodation and all that. So after that, Yudhishthira again takes the advice of everyone else, and they all agree that it is time for him for a Rajasooya, and he has amassed enough wealth. And Yudhishthira sends Sahadeva, asks Sahadeva to invite all concerned, and Sahadeva sends emissaries to important persons to invite them individually, and ask messengers to announce in public places, which is an open invitation to all to participate, to attend. And the day of Rajasooya arrived. By then, Sri Krishna came by then. He again brought gifts. Vedavyasa arrived with his disciples. He himself offered to be the Brahman. Brahman is a very important post in the Rajasooya ceremony among the priests. He makes sure that everyone else does according to the rule, that there is no mistake made either in the chanting of the mantras or in the performance of the rituals. So he must be well versed in all this. And Vedavyasa offered himself for that post. Then one sage, Susama, was made in charge of Udgitham. Udgitham, Veda, any important yajna needs all the four Vedas to be performed. And Samavedins are there to chant Sama Gitas, the Gitas. The Sama is sung, and it is called Udgitham. Sama is sang like a song. And this Susama, who was a disciple of Vedavyasa, was appointed for the Sama. And Yajnavalkya, again a disciple, was made in charge of Yajurvedis, who are Adhvaryus. Adhvaryus who are the actual performers of the yajna, the rituals. And Yajnavalkya, he was one of the most well-known at that time. And Paila, who was another Vyasa Shishya, was made in charge of Rigvedis, who are the Hotas. The Rigvedis invite, a Hotava means one who calls, invites gods for the yajna. So the Rigvedic stutis, Rigvedic hymns are used to invite the gods to the ritual. Paila, with the help of Dhaumya, who was the family priest of the Pandavas. And according to their instruction, Yajna Shala is the actual structure which has got so many parts. At the back there is a Patni Shala where the Yajamana, in this case Yudhishthira, Yajamana has to live with his wife, who is Draupadi, during the entire ceremony. If it lasts for several days, then they stay in that for all those days. We will soon come to that. And there are the actual shala where the, what is it called, havans are made for the Adhairyus and Hotas all to seat. There are separate places for them all. And then there is a chiti, altar, depending upon, there are some in the shape of chiena or Garuda. There are various forms prescribed with bricks, specially made bricks. The bricks are put together into that shape. And the shala was built, and accommodation was made for the invited guests, depending upon their status. And the priests instructed Yudhishthira on the Diksha. Diksha is a vow. They tell him that from now you have taken a vow, and until the yajna is completed, you have to follow very strict disciplines. You have to live in the Patni Shala. You have to hold some darbha in your hand, which you cannot leave until the whole ceremony is come over. That means your hand will be like a fist, and you don't eat any solid food. At best you drink some milk, and you don't take bath, you don't brush your teeth, you can't scratch on your body. There are some, if you feel very uncomfortable, you use the horn of a deer. With that you can scratch on your body with the left hand. So many restrictions. You don't shave, and at the end you become all covered in dust, disheveled. It's a sorry sight. So it's a very strict discipline. They explain all that. And Yudhishthira accordingly, Yudhishthira and also the Yajamana Patni, that is Draupadi, they took the vow. And in the first ritual in the Rajasooya is an Arghya Puja, that is, choose a distinguished guest to be worshipped as the foremost of all. And Yudhishthira asked Bhishma for his suggestion, and Bhishma, on a quick reflection, said, you worship Krishna. There is no doubt he is the most deserving. And Shishupala, who was the king of Chedi, who was present, he was not happy with it. We explained Shishupala in the Victory March, where, what is it called, he was a friendly king, and he said, why you fight with me? If it is Rajasooya, yeah, you take my entire kingdom. So that Shishupala, he was an enemy to Krishna, and Shishupala objected. Now let us go into that story. Shishupala was said to be the reincarnation of Jaya. We have gone through the story of Jaya and Vijaya, the two doorkeepers of Mahavishnu in Vaikuntham. And when the Sanat Kumaras, the four Devarishis, when they wanted to pay respect to Mahavishnu, they blocked them, and they were shocked, because nowhere in the world, in this world or heaven, in any place, they are blocked. They have free access to everybody. And several times they have been to Vaikuntham also. So they became very angry, and they cursed the two, that you don't know your duty, you don't know how to recognize the visitors. So you be born on earth. And then they pleaded for Shapamoksham, and they said, we can't withdraw our words, but you can make it quick. You can reduce it to 3 births, and if you request Mahavishnu, he could be born and he could relieve you quickly from that birth. And the first they took birth as Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, and Mahavishnu took birth as the Varahamurti, Yajnavaraha. And then they took birth as Ravana and Kumbhakarna, and Mahavishnu took birth as reincarnation as Sri Rama and killed both of them. And the third birth was in Kali Yugam or Dwapara Yugam, end of Dwapara Yugam, as Shishupala and Dandavaktara. And that is the background of Shishupala. We'll continue with the story next day. Time is up today. And the story of Dandavaktara, as far as I remember, is not covered in Mahabharata. In Srimad Bhagavatam, there is reference to that. So we stop now. Namaskaram.